Mike, check. Justin Hunt, it's all happening. Thank you to everybody for rocking with the channel. Thank you to everyone subscribed to the channel, everyone who's shared the good word, shared the link, shared the channel itself, let people know what we're doing over here. We really appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who's donated. Big shout out to everyone who's donated. If you'd like to donate to help continue this mission, just hit the Cash App right up there, or there's a link in the description. That'll take you to a link tree. All donations are welcome. We really appreciate it. And big shout out to my newest members. The newest members, we keep growing over here. Big shout out to Tara Jackson, Black Diamond, KO, Bagaladon, King Anon, M. Mancias. It's all happening. 9-second applause. Thank you. Big story, breaking news. It's not breaking news technically from a timeline standpoint, but it's breaking on this channel. Lil Durk, probably the biggest, most successful artist out of the Chicago drill scene, has been arrested. He is currently in federal custody. There's a lot of nuances to this story, so we're really gonna go step by step through this. But here's everything that's happening around Lil Durk. TMZ reports Lil Durk named by feds in murder for hire conspiracy, arrested en route to Italy. Here's the story. Lil Durk is being named by the feds as the top mastermind behind the murder for hire plot conspiracy, an attempt on Quando Rando's life that left his cousin unalived, and may have been trying to flee the country when he was arrested. TMZ Hip Hop obtained the federal complaint against Durk, which hits him with a conspiracy charge related to the alleged murder for hire. Here's his mugshot. Look at this. Look at this. I would say Durk looks surprised, but that's generally how his facial expression is. His eyes are wide shut. Well, maybe not wide shut, but wide. But this is crazy. This is crazy. The complaint comes on the heels of the previous indictment of 5 of his alleged Only the Family gang members, who prosecutors say they were on the scene of the August 2002 shooting of Savia Robinson, a.k.a. Lul Pab. So this picture right here, this is the aftermath of the shooting that took place August 2022. They were in a luxury SUV, I think maybe it's an Escalade, when the shooters unleashed, and his cousin, Lul Pab, was gunned down. So this is Quando Rando reacting. The complaint states that OTF members acted on the orders of Durk, who prosecutors believe was looking for revenge for King Von's October 2020 shooting death after a clash with Quando's camp in Atlanta. According to the docs, Durk was the one who placed the bounty on Quando and helped others to procure ski masks, rental cars, and hotel rooms to assist in the hired hit. All right, so here we have some stills of the shooting. Here's the assailants. Here's another image of the assailant. This looks like the vehicle. I know where this is. I mean, this isn't far from the Beverly Center in Los Angeles. The feds say the telecommunications records show a phone number associated with Durk was looking to cover his tracks when he texted one of the defendants, "Don't book no flights under no names involved with me." Feds say he's allegedly linked by credit cards to the flight. Allegedly linked by credit cards to the fight. By credit cards. I mean, $100,000 is a lot, I would say, for just about anybody. Just about anybody in America, anybody in the world, $100,000 is a whole lot of money. And allegedly, that was the bounty that was put on Quando Rando. And if you have that much money to spend on anything, my assumption is that you have enough money to make sure that if you're spending it on things that probably won't look good on record, there might be other ways to facilitate that transaction. And I don't know the full details of this yet, but the feds are saying he's linked by credit cards to the flights, which means he used his credit cards to pay for the flights for these guys to go to LA and execute this bounty. Jesus. The alleged OTF members are accused of firing at least 18 rounds at Quando's vehicle at the behest of Durk at a Los Angeles gas station, and surveillance video appears to have captured the entire thing in broad daylight. All right, so here's where we are. These are two cars. This is Quando, and these are the assailants. Feds swooped in and arrested Durk on Thursday evening, intercepting him at a Miami airport before he could jet away to Italy. According to the docs, the FBI got notice Durk was booked on a private plane flight to Italy set for later Thursday night, and Durk was arrested an hour before the scheduled takeoff. An hour before the scheduled takeoff. Now, this is big news. So here's some more detail that's been reported on that private jet to Italy. Lil Durk attempted to trick the feds when he found out his crimes got arrested. Durk booked 3 different flights to Italy, Dubai, and Switzerland. The only issue is the feds had wires and taps on him. They have Durk making threats to kill others who may testify against him. So Durk's arrest has caused ripple effects already. This is reverberating throughout hip-hop media. We have a clip here of academics. This is the moment academics found out that Lil Durk had been taken into federal custody. Let's take a look.
This is this. Yes, Broward. He's in Florida. I got the whole thing on. Look on my stream. I got it. Oh my God, bro. Oh, no. Tell me this is Photoshop. Bro, I pulled it up myself, my nigga. He's locked up, nigga. I got the whole shit, the mug show. No. Higher pending trial. No. Oh my God.
Jesus. Now, here is a closer look at Durk's mugshot and his inmate information. Currently, he's in Broward. They're going to move him to Los Angeles, since L.A. is where this crime took place. But here you can't really see it's cut off, but it says murder for hire. Now, there's been a lot of curiosity as to how this happened. What are the details of how he got caught up? 5 of his alleged associates were caught the day before. Now there's reports out here saying that there was a snitch within OTF. Say Cheese here is reporting Lil Durk's snitch was an OTF member, and he was exposed for wearing a wire. OTF Jam allegedly wore a wire for multiple years. He previously served a 12-year sentence. So here is the indictment. Co-conspirator 1 would place bounties on individuals that co-conspirator 1 and other OTF members wanted to unalive, including TB as part of the bounty. Co-conspirators known and unknown, including defendant Wilson, will pay anyone who took part in the killing of TB and or reward individuals with lucrative music opportunities with OTF. 2 co-conspirators known and unknown, including defendant Wilson, would recruit others, including defendants Jones, Lindsay, and Houston, and co-conspirator 2 to find, track, and kill TB. All right. Now, OTF Jam, he served 12 years on attempted murder. And when he got out, while he was in, he says he received all kinds of love from Lil Durk. Lil Durk, had 50 racks on ready for him when he got out. He also sat down for an interview. There's a clip here of an interview when he first got out, I believe. But here's OTF Jam talking about Lil Durk holding him down.
Hell yeah, because shit, you just came home not too long ago, like when you come home.
So I've been home a little bit over a year.
Yeah, okay.
A little bit over a year.
So he says he's been home a little over a year.
12 years flat.
12 years.
Like 12 years. Did my time. Ain't told him nobody.
Right.
Look at that smile. Did my time, ain't told on nobody. Did my time, ain't told on nobody. Look at this face. Look at this face. Did my time, ain't told on nobody. Yeah. It's all happening. Look at that. Look at that.
Ain't no fool shit on my name. Now I'm back. I'm living a life I never thought I'd live. You know?
Now I'm back living the life I never thought I could live.
Yeah, but like if you can't talk about it, like why did you have to sit down for 12?
I went to jail for attempt.
Okay.
Attempt murder. It was more than that, but shit, that's what I did my time for.
Okay.
Attempt. You know. Street shit.
Yeah. But shit, like how did you even get linked in with just OTF period?
Man, shit. Get linked in. Started with LinkedIn. When we grew up together, this ain't no people I met. Nah, I knew them, like I'm saying, this was before jail. I know Durk was rapping when he had that. We came out that loud on our lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like back then.
So he knew Durk before the music, before Durk blew up, before OTF was a record label. That's how far they go back.
Like before y'all never even heard of that. Like, this was shit in our parties, like personal shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that's bro. You know what I'm saying? In my whole time in jail, that stayed, bro. Like before the money, you know what I'm saying? That was bro. Like I remember when the money wasn't there, first I'm gonna say you 50, I got you. And I still gave my lawyer money and everything when I'm fighting my case.
Gave his lawyer money and everything. Gave his lawyer money and everything.
Durk come through. All that, like Durk come through. That's sure. I don't give a fuck. Nobody say like. Sure. I know I'm a real witness. Like a lot of niggas can't say anything. Like in my life, my whole time in jail, I was straight.
What's up? What's up? Like he was one of the main motherfuckers that held you down your whole bid.
Hell yeah. A lot of the guys did, but hell yeah, he was.
I hood like that though.
Yeah.
I hood like that. No,
yeah.
Like everybody get taken care of.
Everybody get taken care of. Sure.
No gang shit, none of that shit. It's like some family shit. Right. My brother locked up.
Yeah. We always came together and made sure the guys were straight, right? Yeah. Shit, this before he I was going rich. To home and all type of shit.
Said he held him down the whole bid.
That shit was mandatory, right? Hell yeah, bro, like played this part for sure, like overplayed it. I love bro for that. Can't this shit forever. Yeah.
I love bro that ish forever. Now you know me, I'm not someone that's ingrained in gang conversations. I do not revel in street politics by any means. But this is what's being reported around this case, and OTF Jam had a lot of great things to say about Lil Durk. And now, reportedly, he has been the one who's been identified as snitching and wearing a wire. Wearing a wire. Now, this comes at a crazy time for Durk. It seemed like he was turning the corner, broadly speaking, publicly speaking. There's a clip here, actually, from 2 years ago from $1 Million Worth of Game podcast with Wallow and Gilly the Kid. Wallow is sharing his experience with Lil Durk, sharing his experience with him on how hard it was for him to forgive his brother's murderer, but he had to do it. He had to do it in order to move on with life, to not squander the rest of his life. Check this out.
I'm telling you, man, I can name 20, 30 niggas and my homies is dead. I'm here, though. And I'm going to say some shit that, like, this is documented. You know, I got a TED Talk. I forgave my brother's killer. And I'm saying it to say this. Nigga that killed my brother, my brother died in my grandma's arms. In that fucking house that we grew up in. Nigga shot my brother, he ran to the house. He died in Nanny arms when she opened the door.
Look at this emotion. Look at this.
So I'm telling you, this some real shit, man. If I ain't let that shit go, I won't be right here today. I won't be here for my niece and my nephews. Me and Gil won't be doing this. Y'all won't know me. I won't be able to give y'all this game. But I had to leave. I had to let that shit go. And when I let that shit go, nigga, I started to grow. And I started to glow. And now I'm here today, and it was harder than a motherfucker, man.
When I let that go, I started to grow. And I started to glow. And it was hard than an MF, but I'm here today. Listen to this testimony.
And I'm talking about this is my big brother, nigga. I shared the cell with him. I shared the bed with him when we was fucking kids. This little Steve. But I can tell you one thing.
Look at this shot. Look at this, shiestied up. Look at Durk. Look at this setting. And look at the vulnerability that Wallow is sharing. I mean, he is talking about forgiving his brother's murderer. And at this point in time, because this case revolves around Lil Tim, Quando Rando's homie, killing King Von in Atlanta in November 2020. King Von and NBA Youngboy had beef, and Quando is with Youngboy. Von and Durk are tight because Von was signed to OTF. They were also on Empire. King Von was on Empire when I was at Empire, the record label. That really hurt Durk. Losing Von, that was a big loss to a lot of people, especially Durk. And Durk just got picked up for murder for hire in the death of Quando's cousin. And the intended target was Quando. And Wallow is sitting here saying, yo, you gotta let the hate out. You gotta get that hate out your heart. You gotta get past, or you'll never be able to move forward. As hard as it is for Wallow, as hard as it was for Wallow to forgive his brother's murderer, he had to do it so he could grow and glow and be where he is today. And he is emoting all of this to Lil Durk. That's the backstory to this image right here. This is the forward, the precursor to the news that Lil Durk has been arrested. This right here, this scene right here. Listen to Wallow.
Now I'm out here taking care of his daughter, paying for her to go to school, taking care of my nephew, taking care of my mama and my grandmama.
Talk to him. Sure.
Because I forgave my brother killer, but you know, I understand. I understand what y'all going through. But I love all you young niggas in here. And I mean that shit. I love you niggas, man. And I hope y'all make it out. I hope y'all make it the fuck out, man.
I hope y'all make it out. I love y'all. I hope y'all make it out.
Man, he like
straight up, man.
It's so crazy. Yeah, this motherfucker really dropping tears for this shit. Like,
I don't think Durk at this moment really gets it. I remember when this conversation happened. And I think a lot of us, you know, especially those of us who've had enough experience one way or the other to really understand what Jay-Z meant when he said shit was all good just a week ago. Now, I'm not saying Durk never understood that or doesn't understand that phrase. But there seems to be, when I remember seeing this and looking at it now, there's always felt like a disconnect between what Wallow was really saying and hoping and this moment right here with Durk. He's like, man, he's really crying. You see this dude really crying right here? Dang, okay, well.
Get up, man.
It's so crazy. Yeah, this motherfucker really dropping tears for this shit. Like,
he really doing that. He's in here really dropping tears. It's crazy.
Shit for real, like.
I love being around the young niggas because, like, you don't understand. Y'all niggas got so much life. And y'all probably don't understand because y'all young. But this system and the way this structure is so scared of y'all because they saying if these niggas ever turn that light cut on in their head, we in trouble because they the most fearless motherfuckers that ever walked the planet Earth. These young black brothers in the ghetto don't fear nothing. So when you switch that shit and you doing energy transfer, oh, it's over. Y'all nigga ever wake up, it's over, man. Watch. I'm telling you, niggas gonna wake up. It's gonna happen.
And see, for Wallow.
If niggas ever wake up, it's over. If niggas ever wake up, it's over. That was powerful. That was powerful. That was 2 years ago. That was right around the time the assassination happened. Well, the murder happened. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, JFK, they got assassinated. To quote Chris Rock, them two niggas got shot. 1 second applause for Chris Rock. But it started to feel like Durk felt that over time. I mean, in the years since, again, I made allusion to this earlier. He started to evolve, start talking about the consequences a little bit more in his music. He was awarded 2 keys to the city of Chicago just a few days ago for his philanthropic contributions. Philanthropic contributions? Look at this picture. He started being out loud and upfront with his faith in Islam. He started working with politicians within the city of Chicago. It felt like a pivot was happening. It felt like a pivot. Maybe it was branding, maybe he genuinely felt it. But he started to round out his reputation. The only time you would see a detour is in certain songs that felt like they were related around this topic, Quando Rando, King Von, this topic, and in certain interviews. Like check out this clip from a conversation he had with academics. They're asking him, because Von was always getting pressure from the internet to slide on the ops for King Von. Look at this clip.
Beat the shit out of this little ass, man. What are you talking about? Triggered by the slide for Von comments. I don't know if people still say it. They used to say it, but you also mentioned a song. They'd be like, they be saying slide for Von. I think they trolling me. Yo, by the way, them songs is fire. I ain't gonna lie. For some reason, I just don't see them comments no more.
For some reason, I just don't see those comments no more. Look at this. Look at his face. Look at that. Look at that face. Look at that face.
Is a demon, bro. Watch how funny this exchange is.
For some odd reason. I don't know. Might be the water.
For some odd reason, it might be the water.
Hey, yo! Durk is a demon, bro. Durk is sending subliminals and hitting towards academics. They can't say slide for Von no more, and we ain't been hearing slide for Von no more after Lil Pab got hit up.
You be seeing comments a lot?
You see those comments a lot? Come on. I mean, that interview's out there. Check out these bars in this track with Babyface Ray. Right, this is The Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy. It's a fire track. It's actually a fire track. 1 second applause for Babyface Ray. Look at this verse right here. I don't beef with niggas on the net. That shit fed years. One op that I hate from over there got his head pierced. Little bitch seemed to jump out my pants, said it's a Ferris wheel. I can't cap, I got Aqua Nut just off her head skills. I had paid the half for all the drink that I was sipping, $5K for a pint, I robbed him back, so I ain't tripping. I think about my brothers that I lost, I'm in my feelings. It's effed up that I'd rather get revenge instead of millions. It's effed up that I'd rather get revenge instead of millions. It's different. It's different today. Check this clip. This was from Redman. Check this trick.
That same day my cousin died, I couldn't change it with meds. They asked me where I'm gonna be in 10 years, shit, I say the feds.
They asked me where I'm gonna be in 10 years. I said the feds. I said the feds. Thoughts are physical. Check out this clip. This is Federal Nightmares. He made a song called Federal Nightmares.
Delete my iCloud if I think they really on me though. When trial come, it ain't your phone, it be your homie though.
When trial come, it ain't your phone, it be your homie though.
He on the stand with his head down like he don't know me though.
He on the stand with his head down like he don't know me though? Durk was making a pivot and yet still speaking, in my opinion, the unspeakable into existence. Words are spells. That's why I generally use very positive language. You gonna find me, hey, but how's it going, Jay? Hey, come to bed, what's going on? It's all happening. 1 second applause. Because I don't want to get caught in a situation where the wrong thoughts become physical. You got that interview, you got different references and songs. It's almost as if he knew this eventually was going to happen. I mean, if you really think about that section of Chicago where he's from, obviously, and if you think about drill as a subgenre, and you think about the number of people around in that arena, the number of people in that arena that he knows that are either dead or in jail, perhaps that level of fatalism was inescapable. And maybe that's the case, but it's unfortunate, and I would say it didn't have to be this way. Here's another headline that's come out of this story, this case. This was from the Chicago Tribune. Headline, Mayor Brandon Johnson won't say if he will return $150,000 from rapper Lil Durk, arrested for alleged murder for hire plot. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson on Friday refused to say whether he would return $150,000 Chicago rapper Lil Durk contributed to the mayor's political committee a day after the artist was arrested in an alleged murder for hire plot. Johnson suggested he had no immediate intention to give the money back when asked how he would handle the sizable contribution from Durk Devontae Banks, who rose to stardom from Chicago rapping under the name Lil Durk. You're asking me if I should make a judgment on a black man before a full trial has actually come to fruition, the mayor said. I hope you do understand why it's not my position to determine the outcome of someone's life. I wonder if there was something else in between that line there. That seems like a non sequitur. You are asking me if I should make a judgment on a black man before a full trial has actually come to fruition? I hope you do understand why it is not my position to determine the outcome of someone's life. Well, I don't think that's what they're asking. It sounds like they're asking if you're going to give the money back. I feel like they're asking, yo, you going to give this $150,000 back because this guy's really caught up in some stuff? Is it better for you to just give this money back before perhaps it becomes a problem later on in your political career when it looks like you're taking money from people who are accused of crazy things? It is not my position to determine the outcome of someone's life. No one is saying determine the outcome. But you might want to get that money back. Banks is a top contributor to Johnson's political committee. This is Durk, man. Durk was making a pivot. He was getting his stringer bell on. A company controlled by Banks gave Johnson $150,000 in June 2023, shortly after the rapper met with Johnson twice. So this is almost a year after Lul Pab was killed. That shooting actually happened on my birthday. It happened on August 19th. I remember this story. So he looked like he was putting it behind him and was trying to make a pivot. The hefty post-election sum is only outdone since Johnson's election by campaign contributions made by construction trade unions. So Durk is the top contributor to the mayor of Chicago. Of course he's going to get a couple keys to a couple Chicago's suburbs and villages. Federal authorities arrested Banks on Thursday. Prosecutors charged him with contracting 5 associates to murder Georgia rapper Quando Rando, born Taekwondo Bowman, in retaliation for the 2020 slaying of Chicago rapper King Von, according to a federal criminal complaint unsealed in California on Friday. Also arrested Thursday were 5 associates of the OTF, known as Only the Family, a hip-hop collective founded by Banks, a mentor, King Von. As Friday, if you should give the money back, Johnson said, I don't operate in feelings. I operate in truth. What is going on with the mayors of these cities? This guy sounds like, he sounds like Mayor Eric Adams. That's some Mayor Eric Adams would say, I don't operate in feelings. I operate in truth and justice and large campaign contributions. 1 second applause for large campaign contributions. Banks is also among the most successful drill rappers to come out of Chicago since the genre first gained a foothold. As popularized by Chief Keef, G Herbo, and other artists, drill is hallmarked by hyper-violent lyrics that often revolve around and sometimes worsen feuds between gang factions. Banks has tried to shift and soften his public image in recent years. Some of the songs in his last album, published May 2023, focused on the trauma of gun violence, Banks has also publicly rejected crime and publicized his Muslim faith in social media posts. Everybody should get second chances at life, he wrote on September on Twitter. My background wiped and clean of all cases. I ain't a felon no more. Meanwhile, he's made several appearances with elected officials. Banks appeared alongside former Mayor Lori Lightfoot and Cook County State's Attorney Kim Fox at a fundraiser for his youth-oriented Neighborhood Heroes Foundation nonprofit that took place around 6 months after his alleged crime. Photos also show him sitting next to Fox at a Chicago Sky basketball game this summer. Johnson also alluded to that new image when asked about the arrest Friday. I don't know all the circumstances around these accusations, but again, what do I know for sure is that here's another example of a young black man who grew up in severe trauma that led to life choices that he has been very open and vocal about healing from those choices. It's why he's been committed to finding his righteous path, seeking out truth and justice through his faith, while also investing in behavior and mental health support for individuals. Banks was given the key to the village in West Suburban Broadview by Mayor Katrina Thompson last week. Let this key enlighten all our young people, Thompson told Banks as she shared the distinction. We thank you and we honor you. The village revoked the honor Friday and announced it would end partnerships with the Rappers Foundation because, of course, they did. 1 second applause. Banks also made an appearance on the HBO series Hard Knocks earlier this year as the show followed the Chicago Bears training camp. Before the donation made via his company, The Voice Touring, Durk met with Johnson when he was mayor-elect and another time over Zoom the Friday after his inauguration per social media and mayoral calendars. The first meeting was featured in hip-hop blogs and by podcaster DJ Academics in an Instagram post, leading Durk to defend himself against criticism that he was using the opportunity to market his upcoming album. I done sat down with the mayor and politicians. I'm trying to change the image. He raps in All My Life, a Grammy-winning song released days after the meeting ahead of Johnson's inauguration. 1 second applause for All My Life, because that is a great song. Johnson last August also attended the rapper's financial literacy event with Bank of America and City Treasurer Melissa Conyers Evans, as well as Lil Durk as a Lil Durk holiday event in December. So Durk was making a play. He was making a pivot. He was turning into Stringer Bell. While that was happening, he also got hit with another lawsuit. FBG Duck's family sues Lil Durk, others in murder. A new lawsuit announced Wednesday seeks to hold Chicago rapper Lil Durk, his record label, Only the Family, and others accountable in the fatal shooting of FBG Duck outside a Gold Coast store in 2020. Attorneys with Zinzulu Law Group filed the lawsuit on October 9th on behalf of FBG Duck's family, whose real name was Carlton Weekly, and 2 bystanders who survived the attack. The complaint describes how Lil Durk, slain rapper King Von, and their associates engaged in a conspiracy to murder FBG Duck, placing a $100,000 bounty on his life as part of a year-long gang conflict between the Black Disciples and Gangster Disciples on the city's south side. The suit also claims Alamo Records, Sony Music Inc., Universal Music Group Recordings, Interscope, and Empire Distribution are responsible for bankrolling the OTF criminal enterprise. According to the complaint, the music companies knowingly signed artists with gang ties, promoted diss tracks threatening Weekly's life, and profited from the deadly rivalry. The lawsuit also accuses Chicago's first response team of failing to provide life-saving aid to Weekly, who claims was alive for nearly 20 minutes outside the Gold Coast Dolce & Gabbana store on Oak Street without medical treatment to transport to a nearby hospital. A jury in January convicted 6 alleged members of Chicago's O-Block gang in the rapper's murder. Okay, so that was going on at the same time. So Durk not only has a federal suit he's fighting, but he has a civil suit that's currently in place as well. And this is all gang violence. This is all Chicago localized crime, amplified through raps, blasts across the world, through the power of the internet, and the real-world consequences, or chickens, as they say, have come home to roost. Now, they really point out the influence that Durk has had in music. Drill obviously is if it's not still, it's for the broader part of the decade, it's been the most discussed, arguably, subgenre in rap. It's been exported or gentrified in Brooklyn and London and Toronto and Australia. But it's really some kids in Chicago expressing very real world situations, very real world gang life through this particular sound. And a lot of those pioneers haven't had the careers that their talent might have warranted. From a talent basis, their careers didn't shake out that way for a number of different reasons. You know, I mean, Lil Reese, for example, another pioneer of drill, he was just sentenced to 5 to 10 years on aggravated assault. Shout out to Boxden, my favorite forum. And I start to wonder, what has drill, at least Chicago drill, underachieved? Underachieved. I mean, Chief Keef is a legend, without question. One of the most influential new anythings in the past 15 years. And I definitely feel like he underachieved. But at least he got out. At least he got away from this cycle. Okay. In my conversation with Dr. Jabari Evans, Knowledge from Kids in the Hall, which was about him being the expert witness in the top 5 murder trial that got stayed in Canada, he was the witness on the stand explaining to the judge how not everything that you hear in a song or not everything you see on social media is true. Dr. Evans has a book called Clout Chase coming out, and it really dives into the history of Chicago drill and the influence that it's had, but also this culture of clout chasing on the internet. Now, there is nothing that I have seen from Durk that makes me feel like clout chasing. Vaughn, I don't feel like there was any clout chasing over there. But that's not to say that there isn't a lot of clout chasing in entertainment, broadly speaking. But there's a couple of a moment in that conversation with Dr. Evans. It's currently on the channel. You can check the whole thing. That really stood out to me because Dr. Evans' knowledge is from Chicago. When Kids in the Hall was on the rise, it was just a couple of years, if not a couple of years before drill breaks, before it breaks big. And he's talked to a lot of people in this scene. Obviously, he's worked with a lot of people in this scene. But he shared some perspective that stood out to me about what has happened to Chicago's drill pioneers. Let's take a look at this clip.
Like drill, you know, when I talk to folks that are pioneers in that space, like they didn't even see what they were doing as drill music. That's something that sort of bloggers took and labeled it as. I mean, you have like, you know, the originator who's credited as the originator is Pac-Man, who was from Dro City on the east side of Chicago. He used the word drill in his songs. But even with that, I don't think they perceived or he perceived what he was doing to be a genre of music. I don't think it's until King Louis comes along and King Louis does his mixtape, Shot Rags Illinois. I think right after that, it becomes like a thing. And people need a way to categorize music. And so when Chief Keef and Lil Reese and Durk and Herbo and Bibby and all these guys are starting to emerge, FBG Duck, all these guys are emerging. It's just like, oh, let's call this let's call this drill. It's not just gangster music. It's not just, you know, what are we naming this sound? And so naming the sound was instrumental for that movement. And, you know, Chicago had never really had a movement, conscious, gangster or otherwise. And so drill rap became the first movement of Chicago hip hop. And that's like a historic and innovative thing, but it was taken.
The first movement of Chicago hip hop, the first real movement. Historic. 1 second applause.
And it was exported and gentrified by all these other places. And unfortunately, most of the pioneers, even Keith himself, didn't get to reach the heights that he was supposed to reach. But I think a lot of that has to do with because the shit they were talking about is what they were really living. Keith was in and out of jail. Durk was in and out of jail. Reese in and out of jail, getting shot at, catching cases. Herbo, same thing. Bibby, same thing. These guys were real, you know, they was really in the street. You know what I'm saying? They were running from the cops. They weren't talking to academics. Academics was just doing diary entries on them without even knowing them. And these new rappers, these new drill guys, they're in academics DM trying to get on his page, you know? So it's just two different eras. Like, I think the Chicago drill rap scene provided this this blueprint that, hey, this type of persona can be a pathway into the industry and a pathway to wealth and attention that, you know, wasn't there before. But I think the Chicago drill rappers, they were sort of building it as they were flying it. And because of that, a lot of them were still halfway in the street while they were doing it. And for that reason, a lot of them went to jail. A lot of them got killed. And very few of them kept their record deals, if they did keep them. And an even smaller few of them have succeeded. I mean, I think Durk and Herbo are probably good examples. And I think Keith is a good example too. But like, you know, I think outside of Durk and Herbo, in terms of like who became like musically relevant, the way that they, you know, that people envision them to make it to, I think Durk is probably the only viable star rap star that came from that wave. I think Keith influenced a lot of folks, but he still didn't really have that musical output that most folks would attribute to someone who's a pioneer.
I mean, a lot of truth in there. A lot of truth in there. They were really living this life. And I'm struck by that Durk line from Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy where he says, "It's effed up that I'd rather get revenge instead of millions." I'd rather get revenge instead of millions. Durk, again, his pivot was moving lovely. He's made a lot of incredible music. I know that the trauma he's experienced in his life will never leave him. And, you know, hopefully he's found ways to make peace with that aspect. Just in general, just losing loved ones, the number of loved ones that he's lost. But in the end, the story of Lil Durk needs to be a cautionary tale. It needs to be a cautionary tale. Because he saw what was coming. And he had people giving him opportunities to avoid it. He had Wallow crying in his face, empathizing. Now he's got academics crying on streams because he's that affected by Durk being in custody. And for all the good that he seemed to be on the path to doing since this alleged incident took place, and including all the good things that he's done, I'm sure, prior to the situation, Durk had all the options in the world. And as he said, it's effed up that he'd rather get revenge instead of millions. Let me know what you guys think about all this. This is a big day. We have another high-profile court case in hip-hop that people will be following for a while. We also have another rapper who maybe we don't get to see reach his promise. We've spent a lot of time on the previous generation's big three. And now we've got Durk looking at a lot of time. We've lost Juice WRLD. We've lost XXX. We've lost Dolph. We've lost Nipsey. The baby self-sabotaged himself. Durk did too, in a way. So this is starting to feel like a lost generation. Like hip-hop's lost generation. And maybe that's my lasting thought. Maybe that's something I should address more intentionally in a scripted fashion. But my lasting opinions on this are, I feel very, very sad for the victims in this situation. And sadly, I'm really not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. My name is Justin Hunt. Like and subscribe to the channel. Follow the Company Man on everything. It's all happening.
Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. The mathematical breakdown of this mighty game of rap we in. It's boom happening. Systematical culture views us radical, it's all happening. Shaking hands and dapping it. Life through the lens of hip hop, from trip hop to yes, y'all, you don't stop, you don't stop. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes, it's all happening. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes, it's all